it is a fairly new roster still. Let's have a look at our second map between these two teams. Let's go through the vetoes and see. We'll have okay, so Coastline will end up with. I'm actually keen to go through some of the bans, if you like, and kind of see why some of these teams have banned what they did. So for Sinister, Consulate, Bank, Cafe, let's have a look. Consulate and... Oh, actually, I'll get to that in a second. Consulate have a 0% win rate, and it's their most banned map alongside Border. And they didn't have to ban Border because Onyxian did it for them. I actually want to talk Coastline, because are you thinking what I'm thinking, B1?
I hope so. Is it the fact that Onyxian haven't played this map recently, or?
It was actually the fact that, but that's a good one. It was
in the last 10 matches that I've tracked, which could be incorrect, but it should be right. They haven't played it at all, whereas Sinister, they've only played it once and lost it.
Yeah,
so
I've got Pro League and 6 Masters, and the 6 Invitational qualifiers for Sinister, and 0% win rate, 0 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. So not great. No. One thing I will say is the 1 draw they got was last season of Pro League against Wildcard. So that's actually a pretty good result. But everything else is terrible.
Well, and then you look at Onyxian, they've played it 3 times from what I've tracked, which is about early 2019 onwards. And they haven't won it either.
Oh, so really? I had 1 win, 2 losses. Let's have a look at where my wins from. What was it? Coastline? Cryptic.
Well, maybe I incorrectly...
In ANZ Pro League.
I didn't enter the Cryptic results because they got dropped. I just ignored it.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, no.
Sorry, Cryptic.
Sorry, Cryptic.
Whoops.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So I feel like we're kind of maybe tilting towards Onyxian again. What do you guys reckon? Last time it was pretty biased towards Sinister. Maybe map 1 changed your minds. Not very much, yeah. Pretty
much the same. Bit more support for the draw. Yeah. Sinister's still with over 50% of the vote. I'm hoping they win because I predicted each team to win 1 map.
That's true. So I think
a little bit of personal bias, but
I might have predicted that as well. I can't remember, but yeah, obviously we want to be correct because being correct is more important than
because we're casters, so we should
know
better.
We should know better.
Yep.
No, but I will say here, I think one of the things that we can attribute Sinister's getting the part of the poll vote is because they're a bigger organization. They have that pedigree behind them. Onyxian, it's an old name, but a good team and one that's looking forward to proving themselves with the new roster. It's Coastline we're getting into for map number 2, Sinister and Onyxian.
Coastline. It's a map that I personally enjoy. It's equally the second most popular map in officials since the launch of M Horizon. Each team has an equal opportunity to win this map, 41.4%, no matter what side you stand on. So a balanced map in that sense, and a map that, unlike most others, is actually attacker-sided. And Onyxian will have that advantage to start off with the proceedings. Sinister on defense, we saw them have major issues on Cafe, particularly in denying the plants. Coastline, a map where they shouldn't have as many issues, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, I feel like Coastline's a map where you're less likely to see as many plants than we did on Cafe, but let's go through some of these operator bans. We've got Hibana taken out by Sinister. One of the operators that they actually do like to ban every now and then. It's actually their tied most banned operator alongside Capital. I think that'll affect how people can anchor inside of billiards upstairs, or sorry, the cocktail bar, as you can open up the walls of that from the roof. Lion was utilized a bit by Sinister, so Onyxian are going to ban that out alongside the Mirror, which is a pretty staple ban, and their most banned operator on the defense.
Yeah, we harping back to that Hibana ban, we actually didn't see Sinister really play Hibana at all on that first map, instead opting to play the Maverick. So maybe they believe that Onyxian are quite strong on that front, so taking her off the board. Valkyrie to round out proceedings. Very strong operator on Coastline, all the trees where you can hide those Valk cams outside, and probably something that the attackers do not want to deal with later.
Yeah, for sure. And Sinister, it's their third most banned operator at 12% with the Valkyrie there, at least from the stats that I've got from the leagues I was talking about before. And one thing I will say is Onyxian have a lot of good IQ players. We've seen Red, Vast, and God Legion all be really good at it, and a lot of them are also really good at using the gadget. Because you can have good IQ players who are good at fragging out, but not necessarily good at using the gadget. But Onyxian are good at finding those Valk cams, so I don't know, getting rid of that, fair enough. Maybe the Valk cams would have been found anyway. Anyhow, let's go. Hookah is the first defensive site for Sinister.
Attackers need to locate and defeat
default bomb site for pretty much every region of Rainbow Six. And yeah, time to get into it. We got a lot less information denial than we did on our previous map, and of course Thatcher is in the game, and so is Thermite. He's not really relevant on this map, but Thatcher certainly is. And he'll be picked up straight away by Onyxian.
Fisher guy on the smoke. We saw him play this previously. Obviously, an operator that he is quite comfortable in playing. Nico, just doing Nico things all the way on the other side of the map, opening up some nice angles there in towards bedroom. So maybe trying to slow down the push from Onyxian. And I guess Penthouse is a part of the map that you can gain control of relatively easily, and it sets up your attack really nicely in towards VIP. So Sinister potentially seeing that as a play that Onyxian will attempt and trying to counter it. Meanwhile, Molosco going for a run out there. This isn't ranked Milo. Come on, mate. Settle down. Doesn't get the pick, but doesn't get taken out, so no harm done.
And Milo is a player who likes to go for those aggressive plays, and he is new to Pro League. This is his second ever Pro League game after the one we just played. But he's still been struggling on his entries. 1 for 3 opening kills last game, so he died 3 times while trying to get opening kills, and he got the first kill around once. So I think he should stick to his guns, keep playing how he's comfortable, and we'll see how it goes as he gains more experience on this Pro League roster.
Molosco's still playing a long way away from site, trying to waste time. He could well meet up here with God Legion inside of Kitchen if the intel's there. There's a player on Cool Vibes who could potentially give the call. Milo holding that angle towards the Sunrise door as God Legion continues to drone out. Molosco playing quite aggressively, holding that peak with the hollow. Reversing an ACOG at that range would probably not be ideal. He could get the pick as this player's right there. He just misses the player as he runs through. Almost gets the wallbang there through towards Blue Bar, but unfortunately for Molosco, his opponent will get away with his life. But Onyxian haven't made a whole lot of progress there.
Onyxian are distracted by these roamers, namely Milo, and we saw several players go rotate towards the lobby side to take him out. Nico was also roaming upstairs as well, but it's Milo. His job really is just to delay and distract. He's occupying the attention of several of the Onyxian players, and there is a lot of flank watch utility attributed also to keeping him at bay with nomads, claymores, and hopefully some drones. But I've no doubt Vast wants this free kill here. Dangerous of him to peek that. That's Digital going down nice and early. Molosco may well get another gunfight here. He's going to jump outside, and he can find another one, surely. Red goes down. This will be a trade straight away from God Legion, but too little too late. Maybe so. Giovanni's going to take the opportunity to push straight up Cool Vibe stairs. A frag grenade tossed over by Gio, but that gets chewed up by an ADS. Fisher guy now to hold the stairs. This might not work out for him. He does push down, find one with the shotty, and he's retaken that ground.
2 players left now for Onyxian. They have the Capitao and they have the Zofia. 2 strong fraggers, but not the man advantage. Sinister seem a little bit shaky in these late round situations. They just need to hold strong here as it looks like Zofia is being lit up. Fisho holding the top of Cool Vibe still as Vast gets aggressive, gets the peak. 15 seconds left on the board for them to get something going. Try and get that plant down. Sinister need to not fall down, but once again, Nico over peaks and it's a 2-on-2. Vast going for the plant. Vinny to try and cover, gets a wallbang from the other side of the map and gets the second. Luna actually gets the down there with the evil eye. Sinister taking round number 1.
Yeah, not too bad. I think part of that we really couldn't attribute to Milo on the roam. The fact that he managed to get 2 kills before he was punished was a huge surprise, and I think part of that is on Digital. Digital had decided not to pick. Clearly Digital was on a drone. He spotted out Milo and he decided, I'm going to peek this. But imagine if he'd spotted out Digital on the drone and decided, okay, I'm going to sit here and wait for him to peek this. Because I very much doubt Milo's going to check that hard left corner inside of the pantry. I really feel like Digital could have taken out that kill and saved himself and one of his teammates.
And again, late in that round, I was starting to get the vibes of the Sinister throw that we've sort of seen in that first map. Just settle down. They're just going for overpeaks late in these rounds when it's really not required. I mean, they still had Luna on the board. Surely there's an evil eye there watching the plant. Just chill out, wait for the call, come in very late and sweep up the kills. Instead, we saw Nico, for example, is one that comes to mind. Wide peak in an angle that was not favourable. He wasn't playing the percentage game. Got taken out and opened up that window for Onyxian really to try and come back into that round. Fortunately, Vinny was able to actually shut it down. Of course, the ex-member of their opponent. And they did get the win.
One thing I will say, though, for that scenario there, Onyxian actually downed Luna, the Maestro, It was the Capitao. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Vast. I don't think they realized that they downed her, but she was taken injured in pool, in billiards. And I will credit Sinister. They did a great job of rotating to her and picking her up so that she could stay in the game, and that really helped them out.
I was excited then.
I mean, we're always excited when we see Nico toying with a cheeky angle, but...
Imagine we just watched an entire round from Nico's perspective. Imagine how much you would learn.
He's like, all right, cheeky angle 1, cheeky angle 2, cheeky angle 3.
It's an unlimited supply of cheekiness.
Yeah.
Classic Nico.
Content machine he is. So it's a blue bars and sunrise bar defense now for Team Sinister. Not one that we necessarily see particularly favored in the ANZ region typically, but Sinister will give it a crack. Onyxian are going to take that top floor control so that they can open upstairs. You open the floor of hookah, look down, and you'll kill anyone playing inside of Sunrise behind the bar. Very common strategy attackers like to take onto this bomb site. And the Onyxian have cleared the top floor within 1 minute and haven't encountered anybody.
Sinister playing very heavy towards the side as well as off-site, but not vertically. It'll be horizontally. We saw Luna inside of kitchen, presumably holding a nice long angle with the older and Molosco over towards the main desk. He got a double last round and got refragged. Quite impactful in Sinister's first round win. Maybe he'll be able to replicate that as he is again a long way off from site. Definitely in a potential position to go for the flank. Digital though, he's used all 3 of his air jabs so far, so hopefully for Onyxian, he has placed those in positions where that flank will be made difficult.
And Digital just got so much information on that drone. He spotted out 3, potentially 4 players' positions, including that Legion of Vinny inside our office. He'll also call out the positions of the players inside of Sunrise he saw to Vast and Red, who are playing on Sunrise side. God Legion as well. And Vast eventually does find that kill. Finally, Fisher Guy taken out. A lot of utility used to burn him out of that corner from the Capitao, but it was well worth it. NASA Smoke taken out.
Focusing 1 minute left to go in the round. Onyxian, they should have the intel. It's up now to them to act upon it. Neko holding the bottom of Cool Vibes as more drones go out. Surely Onyxian know how many are on side and know exactly where they are. Milo though, he'll get 1. Does he get the second though? No, it was actually Vinny. So it's a 3-on-4 and Sinister once again putting themselves in a great position. But Vinny getting over, Zalus will get shut down and Red gets 1 onto Milo. So that's 2 fraggers off the board. It's a 3-on-2. Luna and Nico. They've played together for a while now. They should have the synergy ready and waiting for this moment. Red's going for the plant though. Nico with the run out. C4 comes out. It needs to connect. It does!
Wow.
That's fast off the board. But Red does get the plant down. Luna's now the closest to try and get this back as Nico, I believe, is still stuck outside. Luna in the perfect position to flank as Onyxian are distracted. She's playing inside of the blue window. That position is being held though, and she's just shut down. And Nico is still outside. Surely he doesn't win this round. He's being detected. His position is revealed, and Onyxian can just perfectly wait and pre-fire him as he rounds the corner. And as I predicted, there we go. Onyxian take the round. And Dev, that was really down, I feel, to the amount of intel that Onyxian had there. We saw Digital, we saw Red. They both did some massive droning for their team there. They knew exactly where the players on site were. They knew exactly how many there were as well. They acted upon that intel, and Sinister were left on the back foot.
Yeah, definitely. Good utility usage. I was kind of talking at the start of the round about how attackers, the common strategy is take the top floor, open up the floor, and flush out any players inside of Sunrise. Well, you can't do that for where Vicious... sorry, not Vicious.
Oh, no.
That's a bit of a throwback. Fisho is the old smoke player. He used to be the... Vicious used to be the smoke player.
F's in chat for Vicious.
So Fisho, where Fisho was playing inside of Sunrise, which was really aggressive near that entryway behind a deployable shield. Nice plays for a smoke, but yeah, he got burnt out by the Capitao, so finished off by Vast there. So a great usage of the utility from Onyxian, because of course they can't kill him from above, so they have to use that utility of the Capitao. That was a great job, and I think after they cleared that and managed to take control of Sunrise away from Sinister, that was kind of all she wrote, because Sinister didn't have a way to deny that plan effectively. You know what they're going to take this time? They're going to bring the Echo, which can delay, not only delay that plant, make it take longer to get down, like denying the plant, forcing the restart of the animation, but it's a lot of site-based information and much more difficult to take out than the Maestro cams if you can't see them.
And
because you can't see them, I guess.
And I guess that raises the question, why was Echo not... It was Echo was not banned in the first match.
Yeah, 2 games.
Didn't really see it get played.
2 games that had both Echo and Maestro.
And there were so many plants that went down and they still didn't bring it.
Yeah, maybe it's something Sinister just aren't used to playing very much, which does worry me a bit. It's not it's not their most banned. They ban Mira pretty much every single time. Echo is the next in line though for how often they ban that operator. So I don't know, coming into this, if Sinister are predicting the ban phase, well, for Onyxian, their most banned is Mira and their second most banned is Echo as well. So you'd think that one of these teams would have banned the Mira, but I guess, sorry, the Echo rather, and I guess Sinister decided to get rid of that Valkyrie instead. Because of the Valkyrie getting taken out, Onyxian's not running the IQ, and now that Sinister's running the Echo, there's no real utility from Onyxian to find those Yokai drones, which could work into Sinister's favor.
Talking about Echo, Luna's actually playing over towards main lobby quite aggressively alongside Vinny on that Legion. She places down her shield late to protect her a little bit more, but still in quite an exposed position. Echo, typically a player that'll play off-site like she is, but probably in a more passive manner.
Yeah, it's a really unusual spot for her to sit, isn't it, in the lobby there? But I like it. I like the idea here. And with Vinny to back her up as well, and that deployable shield to protect her from, I believe, the hatch, and I guess any kind of push-up from service, I guess, and even lobby double door. I quite like that.
It's critical as well that Nico holds blue bar, because those footholds there could potentially be used against Sinister and against Luna if they aren't careful. So he needs to try and hold this position and be mindful of that. Luna not short of intel as Fisho gets Geo, so it's a 4-on-5. That's one soft breach off the board. Sophia's still up though and could have some impacts left in her utility. Looks like Onyxian have been stored out here. It looks like another member has been downed. That's red from a smoke grenade. Fisho secures his double, and Sinister are now set up for a really nice round here. They could well go 2-1 up if they're able to secure it. Digital gets Vinny though, and the run-out's coming out from Vast out the window to try and collect the diffuser, which has been dropped outside.
Oh, he got killed through the wall with the smoke. That's unfortunate. And yes, as you said, it's a push in now from the east side. Digital knows he needs to clear out the lobby, but he's really telegraphed this with all the flashbangs. He does get taken out. God Legion's there for a good refrag from above, but he probably could have taken that without the other enemy team getting taken down.
Essentially a 1-on-3 now, as Vast is actually left on 1 HP. If he gets struck by one bullet, he will be taken out, or if he walks on a Goo Mine, he's going to be taken out as well, so you need to be super mindful of that. God Legion basically needs to double up with him and get the frag, but once again, Molluska's looking the wrong way, and he gets shut down. God Legion now enters in towards Bathroom and gets the second. How does he get that kill? Nico gets shut down, but Fisho's there for the triple. If he gets this, it'll be the quad, but he doesn't secure it. And once again, Sinister will have a round in their hands, but they will let it slip away.
And on the flip side of that, really, God Legion just stole the show that round. Nom nom, he says.
Nom nom.
Nom nom is, I don't know if we should call him God Legion or Pac-Man, because he's chewing through Sinister right now. I mean, I'm trying to count. How many kills was that, right? So he got the first one from above when he retraded. He killed Luna, who was playing at the lobby desk, through the floor above. And then when he rotated downstairs through courtyard, he took out one player in lobby, so that's his second kill. He took out a player inside of bathroom, that's his third kill. And then the final kill for a 4K, that wasn't, surely not an ace.
Not too sure.
At least a 4K there.
Well, that would be 2 4Ks, one for each team, because Fisher was on the 4K as well. If Fisher secured that round, he would have just touched it.
Was the first kill from Fisher there? It was the sledge to the floor, wasn't it? It was Geo on the sledge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You're the stat man.
I mean, I was so excited during that round, I forgot to write it down.
It was a very exciting round.
I'm retroactively filling this out, all my stats. And hey, you know, it's all right. It's working pretty well. And Onyxian, I guess I can say the same for this so far. It was a really good salvage from God Legion in particular, Nom Nom.
10 seconds to insertion.
Now, Hookah is the next site of choice for Sinister. In fact, the only site they've successfully won so far. First round where they won their defense. They'll retry that. And it did get really close last time on this bomb site as well. It was almost an Onyxian win.
Milo testing that run out once again. But just like last time,
He got detected there last time.
Yeah, he did.
So I don't know why he would do the same thing twice.
Just Milo thinks.
Just Milo, I think.
Confident in his shot.
Well, I mean, last time this this defense round was won by Sinister, it started off with 2 great kills from Milo.
Yep.
Downstairs, he got Digital, who was trying to hold flank and just lost his gunfight to Milo, and then Milo went for a run out. Knowing he would be a dead man, he played really aggressively, and that panned out for him, finding him another kill. I don't know if Onyxian will let him run around like that this time. Surely they would have learned their lesson.
They've brought that Nomad again for flank watch. The one and only flank watch. We haven't seen a gridlock really yet so far this evening. Guess it's a map where you probably don't need 2 flank watches. The Nomad should suffice if used efficiently. Up to him, Digital of course, to execute that. Playing quite passively below Onyxian once again. We've seen them take their time on most of their attacks, both on the early map of Cafe and now on Coastline. But it's where these executes come out where they've looked their most dangerous, and Sinister really have looked their weakest. So Sinister probably mindful of that. Pretty confident holding on for now, but need to try and keep it up. Milo, though, he gets God Legion off the board once again on the flank. He's going to make his way through security room, through sunroom, and in towards office. This will be a flank that's surely being watched by Onyxian. It's going to be up to them to try and shut him down. He opens the run out, though. No players out there will be there to greet him. Giovanni is inside of the Sunrise bar and should be mindful of this flank, but he doesn't seem to be aware that there's a player quite close to him over towards office, and Milo's once again in a really strong position, Dev.
Seems like Milo is allowed to just do whatever he wishes on Sinister, and it does work, as you said, finding God Legion. Surely he doesn't find anyone here. No, he doesn't. He does get detected as well, which gives some information to Onyxian, and now Giovanni, the buck downstairs on the blue stairs. He's distracted. He knows where Milo is, but he's distracted. He wants to push up towards Vars. There's no one playing Vars right now. Very uncommon, but Sinister have abandoned that position, and Milo gets taken out downstairs. Good flank watch. Works out for Digital. Fisher Guy makes a risky play through the smoke. Surely he can't win that. No, Giovanni gets the better of him. This plant goes down as well for Onyxian.
Once again, Sinister have let the bomb go down, so it's a post plan, a 3-on-4 against them. Nico towards the Vars. He's trying to find a kill, but it's going to be so difficult with these players playing outside, playing so passive on Repel. Digital, though, he gets completely deleted there. Vinny with the run out, he'll get him. As Raider as well from the C4 could be shut down, but no, he's still on full HP, and Sinister will now need to just stack the run out, and it's probably not going to work. Fast shuts down Vinny. Luna now low health will be taken out as well. And Onyxian once again will get the plant down, and Sinister just don't have an answer.
I know we talk really often about these fraggers. I think the main players we've been talking about this game are God Legion, Vinny, and Miloska. But I've got to say, the last 2 players alive for Onyxian there were Vast and Red, and they have been consistently doing their job super well. In that last round, they had perfect post plant. You know, we can lose those post plants, so you got to make sure you are the rock in those situations. They're also facilitating all of these utility-based executes onto the bomb sites. Remember earlier when we were talking about the execute onto that smoke player inside of the Sunrise bar and how essential that was all on Red and Vast. And it just goes to show you don't have to be the flashiest player out there. You don't have to be the one racking up those kills, going for those huge flanks. In fact, you could be going 0-3, which Vast was last game in opening kills versus opening deaths, and yet you can still have a huge impact on these rounds.
Interesting 6-pick coming out there from Sinister Miloska. He's been playing Jaeger quite a bit so far on this map. Jumping across over to the Vigil. You mentioned earlier, Dev, that Miloska's basically just been left to his own accord to some extent. He's been running around quite freely, picking up a couple of kills when required. Unfortunately, in that previous round, not having the biggest of impacts. He did get one, but then was shut down. Maybe Vigil will help in cloaking him, of course, from those drones that will be out to hunt him down.
He's not going boss G though, so I'm sad.
I'm also questionable in the fact that they've sacrificed the Jaeger in doing that. Milo goes for another spawn peek.
Imagine if he had boss G. Imagine boss G, bro.
Well, we saw Xavier playing the boss speed ACOG at the APAC quals for the 6th Invitational. That was pretty spicy.
Yeah, Red Sun is such a god with that. And, I mean, Miloska's just going to run the K1A. It's very similar to Jaeger's loadout, I find. The K1A versus the 416. I find the K1A is just a little bit slightly inferior version of the 416. But yeah, like you said, I think you were about to touch on, Sinister no longer have a Jaeger, so they're not going to catch any of those projectiles.
Would prove dangerous. Geo has frags in hand.
One thing I will say is Onyxian, the best projectile for them has been the Capital Firebolts, and they just don't get disrupted by the Jaeger anyway.
They only get disrupted by Wamai gadgets, don't they,
Yeah,
Dev?
well,
And
we'll
Wamai is not in competitive.
Gotta wait for 3 months.
Unfortunately. I love Wamai.
Yeah, me too.
Love
Oh,
the
you main
Yeah.
It's because he has a shield. That's why you like him. You love that deployable shield.
Device is going down.
Geo from above.
Yeah, this is a bars take once again. So, you know, like we were saying before, take control upstairs. You can see Vast downstairs. He's working this main execute. He was instrumental in eliminating Fisho Guy last round. Fish Guy's moved off of the smoke, playing the very similar Mute, who has the exact same loadout. Only difference really in this case is he's got the Mute jammers and the C4. That C4 can mean everything except that Red managed to kill Fisho before he detonated it. If you hadn't gotten that kill, Vast would be a dead man.
Red almost getting pre-fired there as well through the blue bar window. That was Vinny playing that position, and he could go for a run out there over towards Office. We saw Molosca do that in the previous round, but didn't net a kill, as Gold Legion has control of the cool vibe stairs. Onyxian with the man advantage, but still a long way away from winning this round. Nico was playing this position earlier, and he's going to play it once again. Goes for the peek, hits a couple shots, but he doesn't get the kill. That was super unlucky. Gold Legion brought down to about 50 HP. Nico still on 100 HP and gets away with his life as Vinny will drop Digital off the board. So it's a 4-on-4. And once again, Dev, we're going to see a roaming Luna on the Echo.
Question is, will she use those Echo drones to deny the plant when push comes to shove? God Legion did find another one on site. Vast is into the plant position. He's going to start getting that down. Luna, we need your yokai drones right now. Where are they? She's not on the yokai. They must have taken out the drones. A great eye there from Onyxian, and destroying those Echo drones meant so much for them. Now Luna's cut off. She has the ACOG for this long-range engagement, but she'll have to wait for the fire to subside.
The plant has gone down again. Sinister have failed to stop it from going down. We've seen it so often tonight, and now they need to play the retake. Vinny's inside of blue, Nico going for a flank as well, but Onyxian playing so passive. They know they have time on their side.
What?
Oh my goodness, the flashes are coming out. Nico is going to go straight onto their counter defuse. They need to try and shut it down. Vast will swing around and get the kill. Sinister, once again, letting that plant go down.
Ugh.
So that's frustrating for them.
It is.
Must be.
If it's frustrating for us, you can imagine how frustrating it must be for them. And I like, to their credit, they've clearly been thinking to themselves, we need to stop this diffuser from getting put down. And so they bring the Echo, but the problem is Onyxian found that yokai drone. They're not running the IQ, and yet they somehow managed to spot it. My question is, did they use the Echo, throw that into the area, and then, because it disables the yokai, makes it super easy to see while it's EMP'd as well. Or did they just find it using a drone or by eye? Because that's very difficult to do, especially in a dark corner like that is in Sunrise Bar. I feel like for Sinister, in order to deny that plan, especially on that bomb site, you couple the Echo, maybe put both Echo drones on the bomb site, one maybe a little bit further away so it can't get EMP'd, and I think you need to have a smoke as well. I think you need to start making Onyxian retry plants. Instead of being able to move in position and get it on their first try, throw the smoke babes, they have to back out, and as soon as they have that movement where they're backing in, backing out of the plant spot, every single time they move, it's an opportunity for you to find that kill.
And that shield placement as well that was used for the plant, I think it was Vast that went behind that, probably actually hampered their ability to protect anyone that was going for the bomb. Couldn't really be taken down by the defenders. It aided the attackers in protecting that. And there was no one really having an impact from that position on the defensive side. So the fact that they played it and it was so ineffective is quite questionable to me.
They put too much stake in Fisho Guy holding that position.
Yeah.
And with the Capitao on the board, it's very difficult for him to hold that position. I think the idea was that he was going to try and throw a Nitro Cell to kill the Capitao. Man, is Milo going for this again? Come on, bruh.
No way.
Surely he doesn't find that.
Oh.
Come on. He deserves to get refragged at this point. Yeah, I mean, he landed one shot on Digital, so... Is he going to go for this again? Surely not. I want to see him jump all the way down and over.
Oh, no.
Yes, do it. He's going to spawn one, but he gets taken out.
That was not the percentage play.
Yeah, no, that was definitely not the percentage play.
That puts Sinister now at the main disadvantage, unfortunately. Could have paid dividends and would have taken the Nomad off the board, but it wasn't meant to be. Onyxian now in a strong position to take this round, and they have plenty of time to really do it.
Yeah, they call that freebie. Nice cheeky one to get Onyxian in the early advantage, and they don't need that advantage, especially in this this map so far for Sinister. It's been a real struggle on their defense. They won their first round of defense on Hookah, and since then it's been a storm for Onyxian. Too good at this execute. Too good at getting the plant down.
Of course, this is the last round of the half. The last chance for Onyxian to extend their lead. They've won 4 straight. And they make it 5. If they do, of course, it will be 5-1 in the half. And Sinister will need to fight back on the attack, which is not favourable. Vast, meanwhile, gets aggro. Geo will take out Vinny. And it's a 5-on-3. So Sinister need to try and get it back. Try and get back that man count as best that they can. Onyxian, though, still have plenty of time to play with here. And they're now going to set up a bit of a beachfront over towards the aqua side of the map. Likely going to try and attempt a default plan here behind that A-bomb. Fisher guy in the perfect position to deny that. But there is a player on the main window. One of the Sinister defenders need to try and cover that. It's Fisher. He's getting lit up and droned out. They know exactly where this player is. Another nade comes out. It's unsuccessful. And Fisher guy is going to use a smoke and try and get it to go through the wall to try and deny the plan on the first occasion. Vast is attempting that now as Nico will get Geo. Nico gets the second onto Vast as Luna tries to get one entering in towards Hookah. Doesn't get the kill though. And Sinister are now left in a 3-on-1. Fisher guy needs to try and get some kills, but he can't do anything. And Onyxian will take 5 rounds straight. Sinister well and truly on the back foot heading into the second round.
It's a bit concerning, isn't it? And look, we've said maybe Coastline's a map that is a bit more attacker favored, but I don't think it's this attacker favored. This is Onyxian stepping all over Sinister right now. 5 rounds straight in a row. And having that kind of confidence on your attack, then moving over to your defense. And you really need to see Sinister step up, start, I don't know, like what's the problem? They're just a bit all over the place, aren't they? We had Milo, unfortunately, popped out early.
From an outsider's perspective, it appears as if Sinister, most notably during the late round, are frazzled. There's many occasions where they've been in winnable positions, yet they haven't really even looked close to winning. I get that feeling. Yes, Milo gave them that freebie last round and put them in a pretty bad position for the rest of the round, but even still, just little things like Luna missing the shot on the entry inside hookah. If you've got the older, you should probably be winning that gunfight. Yeah,
definitely.
And we've seen it in the last 5 rounds. Sinister just unable to really close it out, and 3 of those 5, the bomb went down. On Coastline, which we alluded to earlier, should be the one map where you're able to deny the plan. There's a lot of verticality, there's a lot of opportunities to place denial around the map, and it appears as if Sinister just aren't able to connect those dots here.
One thing I will say, let's change our tune and talk about Onyxian for a minute. They're actually looking really good.
Yeah.
And it's not just that they're beating Sinister, it's that this looks like a very refreshed Onyxian. And I feel like they used to be a team that relied on the fact that they had some great fraggers, and they would use their support players to put those fraggers on a pedestal and allow those players like God Legion and Todd in the past to really shine. But Onyxian is starting to look a lot more like Wildcard to me. They're looking like a team that is very much objective focused. They're forcing down these plants, and their support players are doing their job so well. Vast and Red look incredible.
I mean, if you showed me this VOD without telling me about the roster changes, I would find it hard to believe that they've actually undergone these changes so recently, because as you mentioned, I have the impression from what we've seen so far that they're actually playing quite well as a unit. We've seen them refragging quite aggressively, we've seen them going for the objective quite aggressively as well, and so far they've been playing quite efficiently, and hopefully they can set themselves up for not only the rest of this map, but for the rest of this season. We saw them just fall short Season 10, Season 11, fresh start and a fresh opportunity to try and get in the top 2.
I don't want to emphasize how close they were to making land. Well, they made 6 Masters land. They lost to Fnatic, only barely. They took them to 3 maps in the best of 3, but Onyxian were also so close to making APAC finals instead of wildcard, which was huge for them. If only they'd nailed those rounds against Fury, they would have made that land spot. But I think they're redeeming themselves here.
Once again, the calm before the storm. We have eclipsed the halfway point of the action phase, and it sounds like Sinister is starting to do some soft destruction from above. Nico has the skeleton key on Buck. Ash as well could come to assist, maybe even if he has some breaching charges. Nico unable to find any players playing below him as Milo has gained control of the cool vibe stairs, but Geo is there at the bottom to greet him. This gunfight could be very, very interesting if it plays out. Oscar has utility as well that he could waste if he dies here. He tries to flash out the bottom of the stairs, but the Jaeger device will cover Geo on the lobby playing down below. And it's a bit of a Mexican standoff. Neither player wanting to make the first move, and it looks like Milo has given up and made his way back above to the rest of his team.
That Dokkaebi call from Luna did give Milo some good information. He knew exactly where Geo was underneath the stairs, but man, we only have 30 seconds left, and here's the first kill, and it doesn't even go the way of Sinister. They're time poor, and now they're poor on players. Luna starts dragging it back, but we need to see a lot more if we want to see Sinister get back in the game.
Luna gets the double there with the MK14. A strong semi-auto gun, but she's going to struggle at close range, though. She has that encounter later down the hallway. Geo once again still holding the bottom of Cool Vibes. There's only 10 seconds left now. Sinister need to get in and get the plan, and there we go. Luna was shut down. The semi-auto is not powerful enough, but Fisher and Milo, they'll get one at piece, and now it's a 1-on-2. Onyxian, it's only Red left on the board. He's low on HP, and the plant needs to be denied. Fisher, guys, not in that smoke. He'll be able to get the plant down if he doesn't swing wide. The coverage is there, and probably saw him, and there we go. The call goes out. Sinister take the round, and whew. It was close.
So there was 30 seconds on the clock. The first kill comes out. Sinister lose a player, and yet they come back and they get a plant down. They turn it into a 2 versus 1. What happened in those 20 seconds that turned that game on its head? Sinister completely collapsed on the bomb site, and well, for once it looked like it started to work.
And if my stat tracking is correct, that's the first time, maybe potentially the last round of the first map because I didn't capture it, but that could well be the first time they've actually gotten the plant down in both these maps, which I think is pretty significant. And
it only happened after the timer hit 0 as well. So Sinister planting is a last resort. That said, they have some very strong players on their roster, especially when it comes to taking those fights. Players like Miloska, he helped cover Fisho in the final moments of that round. Sure that victory, but I don't think we'll see Onyxian get too phased here because that was just the bars defense. They haven't tried hookah, they haven't even tried kitchen yet. Interestingly, they're not actually going to hookah yet because it was the only one Sinister won, and it has been typically the most favored bomb site. But kitchen is next up on the menu for Onyxian. Sinister just going to bring that same lineup, fairly versatile. Funny that they do in fact bring the IQ, whereas Onyxian weren't. And Onyxian didn't have trouble with any electronic gadgets like the Echo drones. It's actually really funny. Echo gets banned so much, and he's so powerful, and everyone's always talking about it, and yet these teams hardly play him when he's unbanned. And that's not just on this map, that's both this and Cafe early tonight.
Echo overrated? Question mark?
Maybe.
I mean, I feel like
we haven't seen a lot of defense wins actually overall. So.
Yeah, I think there's been pretty limited opportunities where Echo would have been sort of a round saver, if you will. We saw Luna in one of Sinister's defenses get quite close to denying the plant, but unfortunately that was shut down without an IQ. So, yeah, Echo definitely an interesting operator, and they're definitely interesting that we haven't seen Onyxian really tease it.
Yeah, well, I guess they're expecting that, especially on a map like Coastline, it'll be fairly easy for the IQ to locate. Wait, didn't Melosios completely miss the? Oh no, sorry. I thought the player was inside of Cocktail Bar, but no, in fact, he was in Aqua. Fisher Guy does find the first kill, and that's a great job to take down Nom Nom God Legion while cutting off those rotations from the roof.
5v4. Sinister in control of this round so far, but there's still plenty of hurdles for them to jump through and plenty of time to do it. Nico could well see the foot of the player playing inside of Bathroom. That'll be Digital. Very strong weapon in his hands as it is now holding that angle. Nico needs to be mindful of that position as Digital is not afraid to peek these holes whatsoever. He just peeks away at the wrong time. Nico doesn't quite capitalize. That would have been a really nice kill, but he gets C4'd. That's always the danger of pushing that position. Red makes him pay. And now it's a 4-on-4.
You can see Red C4 was actually pre-placed earlier in the round. He just left it there until he thought that the Buck had moved over to that position. Struck it at the perfect moment to take down Nico. Very impressive.
IQ didn't save the day on that occasion either.
No, you're not wrong there. Onyxian 4 versus 4. Sinister, let's look from their perspective because they're the ones who really have to make some moves here. Luna wants to push to take control of lobby, but it's a very difficult place to enter. The Sinister have lost their primary soft breach. Oh, what a wall bang!
What?
That was nasty from Fisho, but There's a kill for Onyxian to reply, so Sinister not out of the woods yet.
Absolutely disgusting there. Sinister now in a 3-on-3. Fisher guy trying to put some smokes out there to try and go for the plant. Red's playing right on the door there. If Fisher doesn't know this, it pushes in here. He could be shut down very easily. He's going to flame off towards bathroom. Doesn't know there's a player to his hard right. Surely not. Milo might see the player though. He gets the kill. What a flick from Milo. That opens up the round massively for Sinister. It's a 2-on-3. Onyxian on the back foot. Giovanni flamed out of that position behind the bomb as well. It's going to be up to Vast to flank and try and get some kills. Gio though, he gets one. And the second, that's his triple for the round. And Vinny now, just like that, the tables have turned. It's a 1-on-2. No time left. And Onyxian from nowhere should be able to take the round and will. Man, that escalated quickly. Sinister once again unable to convert a round that could have been theirs. Some fantastic play there from the Legion though.
Now we're on match point for Onyxian. 2 maps in a row. Sinister, man, we've been so desperate to look for something to show for Sinister, but time and time again, they just fall short of the bar, even when there are some good showings. And man, I don't even know, like, we can't necessarily credit Vicious for that kill. Partly, yes, great job, because he got a kill, he pre-fired a good spot, but at the same time, you're not going to get that every day of the week, and that was really a bone that was thrown to Sinister for that round. Here's a free kill for you. You can have that one, Fisher. And after they got that, unfortunately, they didn't have much to do with it. To be frank, I wasn't quite sure what the idea from Fisher was with the smoke grenades, throwing them straight in the doorway. Were they trying to pretend that they were planting so they could bait out C4s and pushes? Because it clearly didn't work.
Well, he tried to flame it off or smoke it off at least once, and it got Jaegered. It got hit by the Jaeger device, I believe. So maybe he was trying. I think it did. No,
because it was Capitao, so it can't get caught.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I thought you meant like it literally physically hit the Jaeger device and got caught on it, but no, he just smoked in the doorway, which seems like a really weird place.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. And then he did flame afterwards. Maybe he was trying to flame. No, I don't know. Not quite sure what the play was there for Fisher. Fisher, we should comment that Fisher is stepping into a kind of new role on the team. Since Copper, Tex has moved to Fnatic, Fisher guy has taken on a much more prominent role on the team. He's captain, IGL, and he does have a lot of support responsibilities. So, you know, that can get to him sometimes. But we are on Onyxian's match point, and they've already secured 3 points earlier today with that 7-5 victory over Sinister, and this is looking even better than Cafe was. 6-2 at the moment. Looks like nothing is stopping this squad.
Definitely a strong chance that Onyxian will walk away tonight with 6 points, 3 for each win in Sinister. They'll be left with nothing. Not the best start to their Pro League campaign, of course. It's a long season. They have plenty of chances to recover, but unfortunately, it doesn't really leave them with much of a buffer later in the round. It only takes 1 or 2 losses, and you can already be on the back foot. We saw that in last season where they only just scathed away and made their way back into the Pro League. They almost dropped down to Challenger League if it wasn't for Fury actually beating Onyxian in that final play day. So, yeah, it's a little bit grim. Sinister, they're not playing terribly. Onyxian are playing really, really well. Sinister just haven't really stepped up when it's required there.
What I will say is Sinister already won their attack onto bar once, and now it's Onyxian re-attempting that bomb site. So Sinister can replicate their previous success, but they are under pressure. Staring down that match point. Luna droning forth. Spots out that she's actually clear inside of stock, but Miloska elsewhere does find the opening pick, and that's 2 for Sinister. This could be a repeat. Giovanni tries to claw it back, and Luna pushing forward with a goo in her foot. Dangerous position to be in.
He tries to take it out. That's at a very risky time to do it. She gets away with it, but no, she gets shut down. Luna! No, you take it out and you get taken out in the process. That's unfortunate. Digital cleans that one up as Vast is alongside to try and assist. It's a 2-on-2. A minute on the board. Plenty of opportunities here for Sinister to recuperate and try and get some refrags. Fisho and Nico, they're good buddies. They should be able to frag it out if required. It's going to be a tall order, though, against that Older.
2v2 is not too bad, though. Especially because...
Against the Older, though?
Yeah, but Digital's taking a bit of damage.
True.
Both the Sinister players have high damage weapons. 2 shots from either should take down the Maestro. So if they work this together. They also have plenty of time to play with as well.
Yep.
Digital's playing this smart. He's retreated back into office, not playing in an exposed position. They're also both delaying time right now. Vast playing completely passively inside Sunrise. He should get some kind of audio cue if Sinister start to push in through Sunrise, but time's ticking away. Sinister, this is your moment.
Ooh, Nico though, he makes his way in towards the side. He misses the shot onto Blue Bar, and Digital's there to capitalize. It's a 2-on-1. Fisher guy has full HP and he gets one. It's now a 1-on-1, but the goo is in his foot at the exact wrong time. Digital retreats inside of Office, and Fisher is now forced to go for the plant. Digital should be able to collect it. It could be really close here, potentially. Fisher might be able to get it off in time, and he will. Still potential to get the kill. As you mentioned before, Digital's low on HP. He's flashed out as well, and Fisher needs to try and get the kill. He goes for the peek, and he will secure it. Sinister take round number 9. Once again, though, it's really tight, but well played by Fisher in those dying moments.
An excellent clutch from Fisher, and knowing exactly when to plant, when to push. I was a bit worried there for a second. He planted, he had to hold down that button for full 7 seconds after the timer hit 0. But he made it work. He retreated back behind the pink bar just in time and started to get that diffuser down so that he wasn't exposed, and the Maestro pushing forward didn't have an angle on him right as he entered Sunrise. So good job, good clutch there from Fisher. But there's a long way to crawl back here. One thing I will say is every single round counts. We saw that last season where Sinister only barely escaped relegations thanks to their round difference with Team Cryptic. So every single round counts.
Yeah, in that previous round, Fisher guy putting the plant down, that would have felt like the longest 7 seconds ever. Just sweating that Digital would catch him in time. Looking at scoreboard though, Fisher guy, he's top fragging, so no stress for him.
Yeah, we had a bit of a dig at him when he was kind of.
You did.
You did. Okay, I'm sorry to rope you in on this, guys. I had a bit of a dig at him with those smoke grenades placement, smoke bolts, but he's been popping off.
I think those smoke bolts are very good.
We're good.
10 out of 10.
Okay, 10
That's
out
my
of 10.
analysis. Yeah.
Fair call. I'll take that.
Not really. They weren't really that great.
Well, we need to be nice to Fisher because he's popping off and he clutched it. So
all of his sins are forgiven.
Yeah. So we're seeing Vast on the pulse for the first time. I don't think we've seen a pulse at all this series, but it's been a favorite of Vast for quite some time. He does like that information gathering, and pulse can be so good in Pro League. When you relay that information to your teammates, you can really control the flow of players and information, enable a lot of cheeky plays. It's not just good for vertical play as well. Very versatile operator.
Luna as well, opting to play Gridlock, a flank watch operator that hasn't seen much play so far tonight. Most teams opting to play the Nomad. I'm a fan of Gridlock. Definitely a fun operator to play, and one that's effective in comp play. You can throw out those track stingers and delay flanks, and it doesn't prevent them necessarily in the same manner that an air jab would, but it at least gives an audio cue if they're not prepared to just walk straight through it. And if they do, not only do they take damage, but they're also slowed down significantly. So hopefully Luna can place those in the right positions and prevent any of these roamers, such as Vast, from flanking later in the round.
Speaking of Vast, he does get pushed out from the lobby side. He saw a player and got a bit scared. That's the second round in a row. Molosca's killed Godlegion right out of the gate. Now Vast also has escaped. He's not getting pressured right now. There's a lot of action going down elsewhere. Vast misses his C4. He's likely to get pushed. Tries to go for the drone. That distracts him. Misses his crosshair placement onto that engagement. Caught in a pickle at the moment. Takes out Fisher Guy's drone, but he's likely to be exposed, and Molosca takes him out on the cross. Excellent work from Sinister. Bringing this back. 5 versus 3. A minute and a half to go.
2 big impact kills there for Milo on the Ash, and he's still on 100 HP, still looking very dangerous. He's used one of his Ash charges, but has 1 remaining and 2 stuns as well. To almost hits the 1 tap there. That would have been disgusting, but he doesn't hit it in the end. Onyxian, it's a 3-on-5 for them. Just over a minute to go that they need to hold out. This is where Sinister has looked their weakest, so it's definitely winnable. Digital and Geo, they'll half prove my point by making it a 3-on-3, and Sinister now need to recover from that. Milo, though, he gets his 3rd onto red. Finny gets 1 as well. So just like that, Geo's left in a 1-on-3. He has to hold out for 45 seconds, and that's not ideal. He's getting flashed out, and they know that he's probably playing behind this wall. Sinister, they're going to attempt the plant, so there's going to be 2 players covering. Geo gets lit up, and he gets taken off the board. Sinister will take round number 10, and that's Luna on the Gridlock. 10 out of 10 analysis. Best op in the game.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
And great job, Sinister. That was really nice. They've, they really clawed themselves back into this game. A 6-4 now. Look, a win is off the cards. They can't steal away the 3 points, but a draw is certainly looking possible. I was saying as a commiseration to Sinister that maybe every round counts, right? Maybe they can't win this, maybe they can't draw this, but every round gets them one step closer to having a positive round difference. But I don't know about that. Go for the draw at this point. Only 2 more rounds.
We're going to see Kitchen again. We haven't seen Onyxian go upstairs at all in their defensive half, which is pretty interesting, pretty uncommon. Hookah is most commonly the first bomb site picked. Onyxian, though, they're going to throw meta out the window and do something a little bit different.
There's even quite a few Australian teams, and ANZ teams, I should say, really, that like playing Penthouse as well. Penthouse isn't super favoured overseas, but teams like Wildcard, Mindfreak do play Penthouse. I'm surprised that we're not seeing that attempted by Onyxian either.
I'd say probably that's attributed to the mirror ban to some extent. Mirror does provide assistance in holding, particularly towards sort of the Hall of Fame area. Can be done without the mirror, don't get me wrong.
The old school way of holding Penthouse really revolved around that mirror because mirror came out with this map. So that was kind of the bomb site where people first started to use mirror.
The OGs would remember.
Yeah, exactly.
The OGs.
But yeah, there are ways to hold without. You can run ACOGs like Wildcard do and hold more inside of VIP, but I think that strategy doesn't quite work as well as it used to. And yeah, Penthouse does have the worst defender win ratio out of all of the bomb sites on this map.
I must say though, it is good to see Blue and Sunrise getting some love. It's a site that teams, as the map has progressed, have become more familiar with and played more often, but it's still pretty low in the pick rate, I would assume. Probably still higher than Penthouse.
It's a team that relies on a lot of coordination. That's why you don't see it so much in ranked to casual games.
Oh, you're saying I'm a ranked star?
I'm definitely a ranked star.
Oh, we all know that.
So it's an early moment for Sinister taking control of the top floor. Great job there. Using their drones. There's no real contest though. That C4 detonated without real information. I'm a bit confused there. We saw how effective it was previously. Took out Nico, the buck, and now that C4 is taken out. Wasted, I should say. And we've got breaching charges on Vinny. Opening up some of the floor. Miloska took a lot of damage. Not quite sure where that was from, but repel up to the roof, and Nico's in the house now. Ready to open up the floor. Possibility for more C4s on the board for Onyxian.
We saw a pre-placed C4 take Nico out previously. He's doing something very similar. He knows that. He's playing on the bed this time to shield himself a little bit. Probably a wise decision, because if Nico's taken off the board, that's a lot of soft destructibility that will be taken out, and this is a map that relies quite heavily on that from above.
Interestingly, there's no players inside of Pantry on that default position or inside of Bathroom. They've realized it seems to have that above control opening up the floor, so Onyxian decided to play further out. They had one player kitchen, two players kitchen, and then the rest of the players were mostly inside a lobby. But Fisho guy, great drone spot, spotted Giovanni inside the lobby. It's going to be difficult for Miloska to attempt that kill, especially as he's low HP, but looks like he may be pushing down the lobby stairs at the moment to contest. Even Ping's coming out over on that lobby side. Looks like that's where Sinister want to start taking the brunt of this fight against Onyxian.
Luna holding the service door with the ACOG. She doesn't have the diffuser in hand though. That'll be Fisho guy on the Capitao. So he's going to rotate down now. Head towards the kitchen window, interestingly enough. There's 2 players holding that position. Digital on the Maestro is one of them. He's laying prone, playing quite safe here. If Fisho jumps in, this will be the round lost. Surely if the diffuser gets dropped here, Fisho needs to be very calculated in how he approaches this. Vinny though, he'll get Giovanni. Fisho seemingly aware there's a player in that corner. Doesn't quite see the one to his right yet. Doesn't see the tip of his gun either, and he's going to get taken out. The diffuser's been dropped and Sinister are falling apart. It's a 3-on-1. Nico is left to clutch it out. 20 seconds on the board, but the round of the map, it's probably over.
15 seconds to go.
We've seen clutches already today, but this is a tall order for Nico, and yet another player holding a cheeky angle, ready to peek him. He finds that one. Good job to Nico, but surely they won't give him anything else. He's got to get the diffuser. It dropped in kitchen. Nothing he can do. Older pre-fire. That's GG. And Onyxian 2.0 take the 2-0 over Sinister.
A series that was close in some respects, but distant in others, really. Sinister struggling, I would say, particularly on the defense and in late rounds in general. But again, we can't take anything away there from Onyxian. They were playing really strong, and a squad that is quite new with their roster changes. Didn't look that way. They looked experienced, as you mentioned, getting some Fnatic and Wildcard vibes. So maybe they are a strong contender for that top 3.
Yeah, I was a little bit skeptical with the Onyxian because I don't think that all of these roster changes were fully intentional.